Hello, folks. Welcome to the Scumdogs Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and I have another great show planned for us. But while we wait for people to gather in the chat, let me go off and show off some artwork from me own. We're going to be looking at monster stories tonight, another cryptid corner. But first, let me go off and show some artwork off from my own upcoming graphic novel, Scumdogs, okay? Just a moment here, folks. Just a moment. Trying to find my video here. I am streaming, right? Yeah, I am. Just let me go off and go to share screen. Here we go. Here's my extreme 90s cover. This cover I did to harken back to the comic books of the 90s. It looks pretty good, huh? This cover has pretty much all of my characters on it and stuff like that. The Scumdogs, the name of my graphic novel, is a parody book. I parody the cartoons we all know and love when we were growing up. Let's see. The Scumdogs are former pro athletes who are now supervillains that take over the universe. See, they used to compete in sporting events known as the Scumdog Sports, sporting events held with superhuman monsters as the pro athletes. See, they're called Scumdogs because they're just scum and dogs because they trade in their humanity for superpowers. Because they transform themselves into superhuman monsters to compete in the sporting events. Yeah, they're led by Death Mug here, who's on the cover, the purple guy with the metal mask, who's fighting his archenemy Buick Starpoon, the guy with the pink pompadour hair. Death Mug is an arrogant dictator who wants to rule the world. He's got various aspects of various villains from 80s cartoons. Well, namely the villains of G.I. Joe, Cobra. He's like Cobra Commander, he's got a metal mask. Like Serpentor, he's got gold on him. And he's purple like the Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. While his archenemy Buick Starpoon, the guy over there, he's a G.I. Joe parody, mostly of Duke from G.I. Joe, which means him and the rest of his team all have military specialties because of that. All right. But he's also a parody of the space opera hero kind of character, like Captain Kirk from Star Trek, Zap Brannigan, or Buck, or Buzz Lightyear, or Buck Rogers. Those kinds of heroes, and the other members of his team are on this cover too. This guy over here with the mohawk, his name is Roadhog. His military specialty is that he's an army guy. While this bald guy with the gun down here, his name is Beach Pounder. His military specialty is that he's a Marine. Now, this guy back here in the red uniform, in that vehicle, his name is Blast Tank. His military specialty is that he's a heavy vehicle specialist, a tanker, right there. Now, this cover is one of 3 different variant covers you'll be able to back when Indiegogo goes live, so there's that as well. Now, let's look at some more artwork and character. Well, look at some more artwork. By the way, folks, hit that like button for me. It really helps me fight the algorithm. Here's Girl Friday. She's another member of the Wild Rangers. That's the name of Buick Starpoon's team in the Space Forces. She was assigned as Buick Starpoon's second in command by her superiors in the Space Forces because while the Wild Rangers save the universe from the Scumdogs, they're also idiots who destroy everything in sight. So they assigned Girl Friday to basically babysit them. And she hates her job because she feels like her career in the military is over. Well, she's a babysitter now. And she hates her job. By the way, folks, hit that like button for me. Well, she's Girl Friday and stuff like that. By the way, folks, hit that like button for me. It helps me fight the algorithm, as well as hit that bell. And please go share this video on, Twitter and Facebook. Now we'll look at Death Mug's henchmen. Because in all 80s cartoons, the main villain of the cartoon would have henchmen, and they'd be total idiots. The pink guy down here is Sloppy, and the blue guy and the blue guy with the top hat is Murmouth. There are a couple of idiots who do everything Death Mug says, and they can not possibly do anything right. Over here we have Hair Metal Doctor, another member of the Scumdogs. This guy, Hair Metal Doctor, is a parody character of Mad Scientist, but mine has been crossed over with a hair metal musician. He thinks of all the machines the Scumdogs use to try and take over the universe, but he does it while being Hair Metal Doctor, and that's awesome. Here we have Miss Breasty Melons. Miss Breasty Melons is a parody of the Baroness from G.I. Joe, but unlike the Baroness, she's a party girl who just wants to have fun. She only became a villain for fun, so yeah, there's that. Now, the hair metal Dr. Pinup and the Miss Breasty Melons pinup will be available as t-shirts from Crypto Fashion as soon as I'm able to make them, so look out for those as well. Now, we looked at this. Now, before I do anything else, I want to make sure I'm streaming on over here. So let me do this. Here we are. I want to make sure I'm streaming. I want to make sure I'm got that there. So yeah, feel free to hit that like button for me, folks. It really helps me fight the algorithm. Now we're going to be looking at another cryptid corner of the night and having some fun. We're going to be looking at radical creatures. So there's that to look forward to. Let me exit out of these. Oh yeah. Also, I should probably go over to Indiegogo real quick to see if there's anything up on there. Let me go. Where are you? Here we are. Let me do this. That there. Any new comic books up? Let's take a look. Get that here, get that there, and voila. Let's get this over here, and then we can start looking at various cryptid stories. Let's see. Nightmare Theater is made $28,598. First Wave Cyber Frog action figures is made $210,990 with 28 days left. Wow. Let's see. Alien Alamo is made $86,630. Not bad as well. A lot of them are doing very well. Micah Curtis Eaglewood has his new book out. It's made $1,310. 30 days left. Not bad. Let's see. Let's go over here. Let's see if we can't find some more Indiegogos. We have Earthbound 2, which is made $37,175. Blade Devil, Ghost of the Past, is made $276. Guytron, like that. There's other stuff. We have Zard. Zard is a modern medieval high fantasy. Looks pretty good. Made $1,570. Yeah. Not bad. Let's see. Misty America, Bad Girl, Big Hair, powered nonstop action comic with it looks pretty good. It's made $427. Misty American. 32 days left. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's see other books here. Ooh, looks pretty good. Yeah. Now the Cyber Frog has done pretty well. Action figures. It's made quite a bit of money. It's got 28 days left. It's made more. It's halfway to being more than half. Yeah, it's halfway to being fully funded, and it's going to make, I'd say, quite a bit of money. And it's only in its first 30 days. You can get modern Cyber Frog, which looks awesome. Looks very good. Let's see, you have a bunch of stretch goals, and each of the stretch goals is that when it reaches it, all the action figures will get these different things. At let's add a nice honeycomb stand. All right. You also get at 500,000. Yeah, all of them when they reach this money will get each of these various things. 90s Cyber Frog articulation. Stretch goals we'll make 450,000 getting a stand and stuff like that. Yeah, various stuff. Here's what 90s Cyber Frog looks like. Looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks damn good. Yeah, so various things. All of them are $40, by the way, except for the Vespid action figure, which will cost $75. Here's Heather Swan. Looks very good. At 450,000. Let's add a nice honeycomb stand display articulated arm for your Heather. All of them will get the stand at 450,000. At 500,000, all of them get new hands, or rather changeable hands. Let's give our Feather Swan a total of 3 sets of swap out hands. 600,000. Let's give your Heather Swan this awesome war ponytail swap out head. 700,000. Yeah, there's another one at that. Yeah, you get various other stuff. So yeah, that looks pretty damn good. All of it looks pretty good. Oh, there's even a trailer now.
When the monster you created comes back.
You mind if I tell you about my toy? I love this toy, the Modern Cyberfrog action figure. This is the Jewel, Protector of Earth. That is our Cyberfrog. Look at him. I love this toy. He has it within himself to turn back the Vespas, undoing the damage, the poisonous colonization of the Vespas. You can see that we've used this nice, super shiny chromium paint.
I want to see that from the beginning.
When the monster you created comes back.
You mind if I tell you about my toy? I love this toy, the Modern Cyberfrog action figure. This is the Jewel, Protector of Earth. That is our Cyberfrog. Look at him. I love this toy. He has it within himself to turn back the Vespas, undoing the damage, the poisonous colonization of the Vespas. You can see that we've used this nice, super shiny chromium paint.
See that again.
This colonization of the Vespas. You can see that we've used this nice, super shiny chromium paint. You are going to love your Cyberfrog toy. The toes all bent like this, super shiny. This colonization of the Vespas. You can see that we've used this nice, super shiny chromium paint. You are going to love your Cyberfrog toy. The toes all bent like this, super flexible foot. People wanted an ankle rocker so that the foot can go back and forth. We did that as well. We added the ankle rocker. This is all of the articulation that's available for this toy. Now, if we get to $400,000, this is what you're getting. We've set this campaign up with stretch goals, a nice honeycomb stand display with articulated arm. This will get included with your toy. At $450,000, all of the toys get one. At $500,000, we're going to give your frog a total of 3 sets of hands. We've got them sculpted here. Gripping hands, and then he's got fists as well. Of course, there's also the additional chicken fist, which those people who signed up for the early email notifications list will be receiving. $600,000, I love this. Let's give your frog an extra swap out head with a toothy grimace. $700,000, this we have to get to. Let's give your frog a nasty bee stung swap out head. Ouch, anyone have a Band-Aid? Look at the stinger right through the bottom part of his jaw. But your kid is gonna love it. And by the way, these toys, we're gonna put them through a process so that they're going to be okay for your kid. They're gonna be rated for 14 and up. If you've got an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, we're gonna make sure that these toys are okay for them too. At $800,000, and this is as far as we've gotten. $800,000, let's give your frog some firepower. If you remember Blood Honey, Cyberfrog hooks up with Jelson. She rapid evolves him just to show him a sample of his capabilities, and he grows a gigantic arm cannon. We've made that cannon. We've made that arm cannon as an accessory, and you will get that added to your package if we get to $800,000 for Cyberfrog. Amazing. Amazing.
All right. That looks good, huh? That's Cyberfrog. Aloha, Bianca Zombie. Aloha, dude. Aloha, Bianca Zombie. We're going to be looking at cryptid stories and another cryptid corner and having some fun. So feel free to leave a few more chats and hit that like button for me, folks. It really helps me fight the algorithm. As well as please go share this video out on social media. I have 2 of them up. All right. Let's get this over here. All right. Mass UFO sighting. Let's see. Look at various cryptids. Let me do that. Bizarre vanishing of James from the bus. And 2-man vanishing plane fellows. All right, let's go over here. Let's see. Humanoids. Let's see. Winged humanoids versus that's. Or we could look at, let's look at Phantoms and Monsters. Mothman captured in Quebec in the 80s, 1890s. Let's look at this story. Following historical account. Interesting article. John Wyatt. John Wyatt here did a young farmer kill a Mothman near a Quebec village in about 1890s and stuff like that. This is intriguing. Well, 1890s. Yeah, 1890s. The original 1890s press story was so sensational it couldn't be true. However, it turns out that the witness named in the story was real. People from, Quebec family. So if the people were real, was the cryptid real? Also, here's the story, a remarkable creature with a commentary. Most extraordinary story comes from Joliet, Canada. It's in an account of the killing at the little village of Stale of a monster bird, half beast, whose classification will puzzle the most deeply learned naturalist. The Inquirer correspondent has the story from the mouth of Mr. Medard Lascelles, wealthy and reputable farmer, whose son Joseph Lascelles captured, and also from the three well-known residents of Joliet, where the monster is now being prepared for exhibition by the scientists of McGill University of Montreal. Since about 1600 is a speaking village, like that. North of Montreal, Canada, at the intersection of routes 131, 347. It's the valley. It's in a valley. Layer of the monster are covered by a mixed forest of sugar, maple, white birch, and trees, according to 1891 census records. Madrid LaSalle or 52 or LaSalle. So 52 was married, residing in the district, and the father of 10 children. Joseph LaSalle, the fifth child, born in 1870, was aged about 23, not 35, when he allegedly shot the flying monster. Joseph married his wife. It tells where he was married, something like that, married and stuff, in 1895, and the couple were raising 3 children in 1901. The story of the creature, the bird beast, and the description is as follows. For 2 weeks past, the farmer, neighboring villages have suffered from the depredation of some beast of prey who nightly visited their sheepfolds and carried off some of their finest lambs. It was generally supposed that the bear was in the neighborhood, and the farmers have been on the alert for the creature in his bearship. On Wednesday of last week, Joseph Lascelles, a big yellow fellow of 35 years, search of the supposed bear armed with a double-barreled rifle some 5 miles, back in the wood from the village, named he was startled by hearing a loud croaking cry, and looking upward, saw circling high up in the air an immense creature that he at first to be a monster eagle. The bird, or whatever it was rapidly descending, and Lascelles, who was a crack marksman, took careful aim and fired. The monster was struck and badly wounded by the heavy rifle bullet, and screamed with pain and rage. It came to tumbling to the earth, and as it landed, he gave it the other barrel of the rifle, and still thinking it was an eagle, it rushed on with his clubbed gun. A terrible battle ensued, lasting for several moments. When the victory was with the man and the monster lay dead at his feet, he now had time for a closer inspection of his game, but the thing presented such an awful unnatural appearance that he was terror-stricken and ran back to the village for help. He was accompanied back to the scene by his father and 4 other young farmers. The monster was then carefully examined by the farmers, who described it as follows. Had 2 great wings measuring 15 feet, 4 by 8 meters from the tip to tip. The head, which was 15 inches, and circumference, resembled that of a large monkey. The body was 5 feet long, and while the back part was covered with big black feathers, the under part was covered with a fur of coarse hair. The feet of claws resembled the large legs of a wolf, and under the tail feathers was a long appendage with a tuft at the end. It looked like the tail of a large calf. Lying with wings extended on the ground, the monster looked as big as a horse, and when weighed, it was turned to scales at 300 pounds. A team had to be sent for to bring it back to the village. Well, what was it? If it wasn't a giant bird, perhaps it was a monstrous bat. Well, mega bats, aka bats and flying foxes, are not found in North or South America. The largest specimens are found in Australia and the Philippines, weighing a few pounds. We may well ask, was it a Mothman? This was seen by Dr. Adler Charles Dr. Adler here, was a doctor of the town of Joliet, who was going through the country purchasing produce. He brought the monster probably for exhibition purposes from the LaSalle's on Friday evening, brought by train to his place of business in Joliet, where it is now in process of preparation to prevent decay, after which it will be shipped to Montreal for scientific, they're going to basically look at this creature and try to find out what it is. Joliet, population 20,000 today, is located about 50 kilometers, 31 northeast of Montreal, outside Carland. Appears in the 1890s and 1893 church interment records of St. Paul's Cathedral in Joliet when he 1893 church interment records of St. Paul's Cathedral in Joliet when he held the office of deputy chief of the district of Joliet. The story says he transported the decomposing carcass to Joliet by train. However, as there was no railway station in the village, he probably carried it east by road along what is today Route 347. Benther from there to Joliet by train, a journey of about 65 kilometers, 40 miles. The story ends with, those who claim to have seen the monster say it is the most extraordinary sight they have ever witnessed, and it is hardly possible that all the respectable men who tell the story about it can be lying. And if not, what can be a monster be that is as present, causing such a sensation in the Joliet district, the Providence source, Maitland Mercury, Australia, 1893. So what happened to the alleged flying monster? Well, that is the 64,000 question. If M. Charland took off to Montreal for examination, may well have been disappeared into the vaults of scientific establishment to be hidden away. There's that to be considered, huh? Let's see, any other stories here? Young eyeless girl was seen along a dark back road, huh? There's an interesting story we could look at. All right. We also look at this. UFOs and aliens, human vanish and plane flies. Strange hairy humanoids. Let me try this. Striper. All right, maybe not. Let me look at a few stories over here. Let me do this. All right, let's do this. All right. Mysteries haunting Moss Beach. Strange cases of human Bigfoot war, 1855. I already read that story. Weird organisms' genes could make us superhuman. All right. The weirdest, wildest man of all. Huh? All right. Let me see over here if you guys have hit that like button. Oh, you have. If you have not yet, folks, please hit that like button. It helps me fight the algorithm. It really does. So, what else to look at? Let's look at this young eyeless girl. Let's see. I hope to have some insight and advice or help on what happened about 2 weeks ago. I need some help to identify exactly what happened to help two family members who have not been right since the sighting. 2013, I moved with my family to a foreclosed 6-bedroom home, 14 acres straight up in the middle of nowhere in the Poconos. 14 acres. Father and I noticed very weird things going on the second we moved in, but my mother and sister seemed to not notice these things. Everyone besides me and my dad, my entire family are it was the wind type of people. And if you get what I mean, not going to go into everything that happened there, as it would fall under different paranormal phenomenon. There is some evidence that the entire area of where this house is located is haunted. Ghosts, Native American grounds and stuff like that, and other things. Historically speaking, with actual evidence, people settled here around the old Scotia area, Scotia, PA area, a long time ago, and brutally killed anyone who basically was already living there. Whatever. This area is very spread out over miles of heavily wooded mountains. You can say that they killed a bunch of natives and stuff like that, though the natives have also gone around killing people as well. But that doesn't mean that they aren't as fault either. No, everyone who basically was there could be said to be at fault. Remember, Indians basically went to war against other native tribes as well, and stuff, driving them off and killing them, sometimes even, and don't get me started on that. So if you're saying basically saying that I should be sad about when a bunch of people are killed, you can look at it this way: people kill people. But that would be the area here could be very rife with something going on there. 2 weeks ago, my uncle on my mother's side and his girlfriend, visited my parents' home. They do this quite often, as my parents always have people over for beer games, bonfires. I just want to start off by saying my uncle is a non-believer, a Harley rider to this day. I have never seen him really scared of anything or anyone before this sighting. My uncle and his girlfriend playing foosball with my parents when they realized at 12:30 a.m., so they decided to head home. They'd take all back roads, and they're in a paranormal area where people have where strange things happen, people have died, and UFO phenomena are probably also there as well. So yes, let's go through the backwoods at night, late at night. That's perfect, folks. Just perfect. Yes. And once they turn onto our running valley road, 6 minutes from the house, my uncle's girlfriend sees two figures. They were pretty far away at this point. It was two small figures waiting to cross the road, just to mention there was nothing out there. No houses besides one abandoned house that was still 2 miles up the road. The only thing in the vicinity is the cave. These figures were attempting to cross the road to go into the woods, which was very odd because of the time and location. They are now approaching these figures. Headlights start to shine directly on them both. My uncle and his girlfriend see two young girls aged 9 to 11, approximately one much bigger than the other, wearing what my uncle best tells as early 1900s church clothing. Oh, another story where we see two ghosts that look like they're from the 1900s in front by a road, who probably ended up walking back into the woods and disappearing. Just like that other story. Very similar and stuff. Specifically dresses to the knee. Yeah, specifically, huh? Except the last story we read like this. One of the ghosts was a boy. The other was a girl. Here we have two of them, huh? With white, specifically dresses to the knee in white cotton shawls or cropped sweaters, flats. Weird, right? Yeah, wondering what are two 10-year-old girls doing at 12:30 a.m. in the middle of nowhere wearing church clothing. They also noticed the bigger child has her arms wrapped around the smaller one, like you would do if she was hurt, scared, or cold. At this point, my uncle's girlfriend is like, "It's children. We need to stop and help." Now at this point, the truck is almost right next to the little girls. Both of them had their heads held down. Then the bigger of the two starts to pick her head up to look at the passing vehicle. Then both my uncle and his girlfriend notice the girl has no eyes, just black holes as if they were carved straight from her face. His girlfriend says, various language. "Was that you saw that, right? Oh my God, turn around and go back right now." My uncle, who's scared out of his mind, takes off flying to get home. They get home and get into an argument because she wants to drive back to see what's up. Grabs her own car keys, and my uncle basically was like, you're not going back there. We're never going on that road again. He calls my parents in an extreme panic, tells them that they start bugging because they know he would never lie or be that freaked out if it wasn't warranted. So my mom starts to tell me everything. Mind you, my fam knows nothing of black-eyed kids. Never heard of it before. Oh, a black-eyed kid, huh? That could be what they saw. I send my mom an article to forward to my uncle and with some of the basic info. Young kids, no eyes, dreadful feelings, sometimes outdated clothing, hitchhiking at your door looking for help, etc. Now my whole family is bugging. Sorry for this being so long. Wanted to give you info. No, I don't believe that this was a BA coincidence per se. Could have been, though. Could also have been ghosts. There's an interesting story we read, huh, folks? Very interesting. Let's see. There's some other stories as well. Skunk ape sighting investigated near Dead City, Florida. Skunk ape sighting, Central Florida. Like that. 8-foot dark reddish Bigfoot observed in Pike County, Mississippi. I've been receiving a high number of possible Bigfoot and upright canid sightings. Oh, let's take a look at this one. Yeah, let it load. Let it load. Let it load. Come on, let it load. Here we are. Receiving a high number of possible Bigfoot and upright canid sightings. The witness, V here, witness, was driving north along the river road south near Macomb, Mississippi in Pike Country. Had just passed Burnt Road and was merging the access road to a large poultry processing facility. As he got nearer, he noticed a tall, dark, reddish-colored, hairy humanoid standing by the farm sign. The height of the sign was approximately 8 feet, and the creature was at least as tall. He got an excellent look at the unknown beast as it turned its upper body while watching VK drive by. Watching him, huh? The witness the witness drive by, eyes shined from the car lights and gave off a orange-colored glow. He also stated that the arms were extremely long to the point where the hands nearly reached the knees. VK drove forward. Well, the witness drove forward to the nearest turn of the road so he could go back and take another look, but the Bigfoot was gone when he returned. Sighting occurred on November 6, 2019, around 9 p.m. 9 p.m., huh? Let's see. I used to work at a car wash. Well, that's not important. One day I was drying the cars out front, and I saw a guy that worked with me walking around in a parking lot. From my view, he walked behind a sign, and as it continuity goes, I instinctively expected he could walk through to the other side. I waited about 4 seconds because I was like, that's kind of weird, not unusual. Then I saw him start walking from where he originally came into my line of view. He walked behind the sign like the last time and continued to go to his car. It was very strange for me, and although I've never told it and forgot about it, this video just made me remember. Send me your replies if you ever had anything similar happen. A different story, I guess. Let's see. Join me as I welcome you for researcher. Okay, let's look at some other stories. Go back over this way. Interesting. 33 minutes in. Have you guys hit that like button for me? If you have not yet, please do so. It really helps me fight the algorithm, as well as please go share this video on social media. Just a moment let's see this. Interesting right there. Now let's go look at some more stories. I was just going to see if there's anything up, anything streaming and stuff. Photo, possible Bigfoot carrying deer carcass in Valley Country, Idaho. Photo, Bigfoot captured in trail cam. Possible rake encounter. Bigfoot observed near Turkey State Park in Illinois. Visible cloaking Indian. Visible. Bigfoot observed near Turkey Run State Park, Indiana. Let's see. Let me go down here and look at some more stories. Might have to do another way. Let me do this. June. Let's see if we can't find a few stories. Possible skinwalker among terrifies witness. Could look at that. Maybe. I could look at that. Kind of bore. Let's see. Let's have some more fun. Look at some more stories. Go down here. Go down here. This is all the stories we had right here. It doesn't seem. Here we have God's Food, an unintended tale. An unintended tale. A person recalls a sad tale to a Grimm's fairy tale. Later discovers that her friend had a very similar experience. The following account was forwarded to me several years. I have a true story to share with you and your readers. Grimm's fairy tale, huh? That's kind of putting me off. I could look at it, folks, but it's probably not real. I mean, all of this stuff. Real Resident Aliens, Part X, the Real Resident Aliens. Raymond A. Keller, PhD, Cosmic Ray, the author of International Awards-winning Venice Rising series, published by Headline Books, available on Amazon.com. Negative. In January 1977, contactees from throughout North America were coming together for the purpose of exploring a possible genetic linkage they shared with extraterrestrials. This connection with our space sisters, with the Rh negative blood factor, and the organization these contactees established was known as the Venice Research Corporation, headquartered in San Lorenzo. Corporation sponsored the publication of a monthly newsletter from its very inception, Bloodline, where readers exchange ideas on Sunday issues of concern to the contacted community. In editorial by Maple Rose, she gave the following instructions: members wishing to get into touch with their higher self. I suppose this could very well be as well. I think I'm on the wrong area. Got two people watching right now. We're looking at this very story right here of our with this connection to RH blood stuff right here with their possible space brothers. People saying they might be have connections to aliens. It could be. It's not a bad story, but I'd say look at cryptid stories tonight. Maybe I'll come back to it in a moment. Let me see something here if there's any other stories to look at. Follow up. Cryptid Thunderbird recently observed in Seminoles County, Maryland. Follow up, huh? Let me see other stories. If there's any. Wait a minute. Did I pass this? Doesn't look like it. There's the Thunderbird story. I could look at that. But yeah, feel free to hit that like button, folks, and we'll continue looking at more cryptid stories. Part X. So look at the food of the God's Food, and it's in a tale. Apparently, it's a tale where it has a connection to a Grimm fairy tale. But most likely, this woman basically mistook what happened and looks at what her experience feels very much like something out of a Grimm's fairy tale. I don't want to read it because it could probably well be nothing really there beyond just someone saying her opinion and how it just feels like something out of a fairy tale and all that. Let's look at March and see if we can find stickman like humanoid observed in English secret garden. I already read that story. Let me go down here. Look at some other stories. Bizarre encounter, spooky New Jersey couple. Yeah, I already read that one. Go down here. Find a few more stories. The Coney Island merman sighting. I already read that one. The Riley Crab Revelations. Maybe I could look at that one. Sam Gordman, UFO sightings reported in Pittsburgh area and across Pennsylvania. I did say cryptid stories tonight. Let me do this. The notifications. Just stick with me, folks, and I'll keep you entertained. Let's see. There's been a surge of UFO sightings reported from the greater Pittsburgh area as well as other from locations in the state of recent weeks. I have been receiving an increase in direct reports of strange aerial objects being observed in the sky in recent weeks. UFO incidents have also been reported. Sources as well, this wave of UFO reports seems to have started during late February and is continuing to be active. Early March, there are 3 white circular lights in a triangular configuration reported from Cranberry County. The objects were observed for a few minutes, then suddenly vanished. There have also been reports of triangular-shaped objects from other locations. A daylight observation of a large black rectangular object was reported from Bedford County. Reports of large glowing spherical objects, some seen at low level or close to homes. Bright objects moving straight up into the night sky and disappearing. Signs of small spears of light that are close to the ground and continue to report. Residents from different locations are reporting that unusual luminous objects are being recorded in their game and security cameras. Don Hagman of the BORU, Butler Organization, Research and then Explain. Organization for the Unexplained, huh? Reports that there have been multiple reports of fireballs and spears all over Butler County. Okay. Photo of triangular object taken in 2020 near La Trobe, PA. Photo used with permission of the witness. Following are some of the cases Dan is investigating. March 2, a witness reports seeing here's the photo. You can barely see it, huh? Look at that, huh? Maybe let me blow that up for a moment. Yeah, not that much, not better, huh? Let's get into this, what it is to say. Witnesses report seeing 3 shiny silver spears. Yeah. At March 2, a witness reports seeing 3 shiny silver spears moving from west to east in a straight line. They look shiny, silver in color, glowing. They look like, they were glowing. They look equally spaced apart and were moving very fast. The witness watched them as they moved. And then watched them as they moved. March 8, a witness observed a shiny, bright cigar-shaped object in the morning sky. The sky was generally clear with some fluffy clouds around the object. Did not appear to have any wings or a tail section. The witness indicated that the object was so bright he had to squint his eyes to view it. The witness, who was very familiar with the aircraft, stopped his vehicle and got out to take a better look at the object. The object moved into a cloud better, and never exited from it. And moved into a cloud and never exited from it. March 11, a man was in his kitchen during the evening when he began to feel a strange vibration and heard a low rumble. He then realized that the sliding glass door to his deck was vibrating. As he looked out the door, the man noticed a very bright and very large pulsating round object just above the trees at the edge of the yard. The light from the object illuminated his backyard as though it was in the middle of the day. He stepped out on the deck and was awestruck by what he saw. At the time, he felt a tingling sensation as his hair stood up, and he had a chill bumps on his body. He called to his wife and he hurried inside to get a camera, but then he returned. It was gone. March 18th. A person driving on Route 8 near Butler observed yellow-white blinking lights. As you know, my live stream is called Radical Creatures. This could very well be what they're talking about is basically atmospheric beasts, even though we're looking at basically a UFO story here. This could be atmospheric beasts that they're seeing. They're actual creatures. So we'll basically say that they are. A person driving on Route 8 near Butler observed yellow-white blinking lights just above some trees. The lights were on the bottom of each corner of a large silver triangular object that appeared to be hovering. The object began to move up above the trees. The witness was going to pull over and take a picture, but the object had disappeared. I also received a UFO report that occurred on March 18th during the evening from another location in Butler County. The witness was traveling down the road when he saw in the distance a large, round, orange spear. The object was gliding off to the left through the sky. It was about 200 feet off the ground and would alternate in brightness and change from orange to a white color. In recent days, witnesses in a wooded area of Fayette Country observed a brilliant orange luminous object in the treetops that moved up and down and suddenly vanished, and soon after unusual sounds were heard from the woods. Other strange instances have been reported since January. Yeah, okay. Very interesting right there. Maybe go down here a bit, see if there's any other stories. Maybe go back this way. But very interesting what we read there. Let me do this. See if we can't find a few more weird creatures. Let's see. Strange cases of Bigfoot and stuff. Ghostly figure of view like that. Creatures that may have lived longer than we thought. Can talking plants help us talk to aliens? Can talking plants? All right, let's go to cryptids. Well, maybe. Let me go back this way. I want to share something. Let me go this way. Wait a minute. Let me try this. Cryptids and bids horror. Let's try that first. I want to see if I can't bring up any weird stories for us to look at. This is, here's this. Let's see down here. Let's see down here. Looked at that story. Weird encounters of mysterious humanoids in Texas. Let's look at that. Wartime encounters menacing. Extreme encounters with truly surreal mystery creatures. Mott Grosser's massive monsters. Encounters in other animals. Mysterious Valley of the Headless Corpses. Yeah, there's the Mysterious Valley of the Headless Corpses. That I'll probably have for a different thing. Starters turn Bigfoot into a cyborg, then run for their lives in Megafoot. Story, huh? Let's see. Attack of the let's see. Maybe look at a different story. I'm trying to look at cryptids here. Let's try a different approach here. Maybe look at cryptids. Fun. Trying to find various stories here to look at, folks. So give me a moment here. Various monster stories. Let's see. That's Hunt for Australia's mysterious cat thing. Another big cat story. I already read a few of those. So of Locke's Long Necks, Part 1, a second look at the signs that put Nessie on the map. Okay. It's The Bray Road Beast, a new film from Small Town Monsters. Bigfoot, Mysterious Men, and the Occult. Bigfoot and his interdimensional interloper. Multiple edged chupacabra. Well, multiple alleged this time. Let me try this again. Let me go like this. Go down here. Let me look at a few stories. I think I'll go over to that is. Okay, let me go over here. Just a moment, folks. Just bear with me. I got a few ideas. Astonishing Encounters, Bigfoot, Mothman, and more. I think I'll go back over here just a moment. Let me go over here. Yeah. Let me do this like that. We looked at that story with Mothman, possible, or at least a possible encounter with him. Family cryptids, unexplained encounter in sightings report. Crawler humanoid, mimic humanoid encountered by a young Argentinian man, recognized by feral wildman, Stock County. Afghan goat. A huge rectangular object hovers over low over. There's a few stories here I can look at. Toy clown causes chaos for family. Let's see. Cryptids unexplained encounter and sighting reports. Okay, let's do this. 4 separate accounts of possible upright canines, Bigfoot, and mantis beings in New York, Florida, Texas, and other states or other places. What did these eyewitnesses experience? What did these people see? Yes, they are real. Sasquatch dogmen live in an area near me, in County, New York. Their habitat consists of about 350 acres. I have over the years experienced a lot of things, including sightings. They frequent the trees and can see in the infrared spectrum. That's why they are rarely caught on trail cams. The juveniles will be the ones most likely to be seen. The dogman and Sasquatch either can come from the same family or the two clans intermingle. I have photographic proof of that. I have been laughed at by some of the people I have told, and I realize they will never be believers no matter what proof I show them. Their minds can't accept it. I have some theories and ideas to be tried for more answers, but it gets expensive funding this journey myself. I was wondering if you could know if anyone who would be interested in sharing my experience. I understand that most people in the area of research are not interested in answers because it will slow or stop their flow of income. But hopefully you will know some that who want answers and stuff. Interesting. Here's some stories and stuff like that. And this guy talks about that as well. Let's get into this. For a year and a half, 2 years now, have had an off-on contract with potential dogman werewolf cryptid. I live in Lake Wales, Florida. County and stuff. It all started when one night I was watching TV in my room. I had my window blinds open so that the morning sun would wake me up. And as I was watching TV, I heard the 3 soft taps on my window pane. My mom was out in the living room and my dad was in bed. I was about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. At first I was a little scared, so I didn't look out my window, but after my fear dissipated, I looked, but I couldn't see anything. As I had my bedside lamp on, I tried turning it off to see, but it was too dark outside to see anything. After that night, nothing happened. For a little while, but then, and this happened fairly recently, I was once again watching TV, my room, and had begun to get sleepy, so I laid down and fell asleep for about an hour. I fell asleep around 9:30 and woke up at 10:30 p.m. 10:30 to find that my mom and dad were both in bed asleep, so I went to bed as well. The next morning when I was heading next door to feed my dogs, I noticed that 3 long scratch marks looking indents in my window screen, which I had not been there the day before. Now the odd thing is there are no tears in the screen. It just looks like whatever it was wanted to get my attention that night for some reason. It's too bad I'm a heavy sleeper. I would have liked to see what it was that wanted me to see them. I know for a fact it was not a human because the marks on the screen are too thin, unlike a human's nails, which would have done. Plus, my screen is made of extremely rough material, so it would probably damage the person's nails severely, preventing them from marking the marks as long as they are. There are also smaller marks toward the corners of the screen, probably from when I had the window pane open for a few nights when the AC went out, where it looks like it tried to get into my room as I was sleeping. I did not feel threatened by this ending. I think it was just wants to be noticed by me for some reason. I also leave my blinds open every night so it can see me because I feel because it becomes upset when it can't. But I keep my window pane closed because my dad would be upset that I was letting the cold air out. Saw a mantis-like being in a rural town in East Texas when I was around 8 years old because my brother and I were in the town. Here's another story, with my dad when he was renovating a house. We were both staying in my house while he was working on it. I don't have many memories back then, but this sticks out. It was dark out, probably around 7 o'clock at night. My father was cooking dinner while my brother and I were playing and doing my stuff kids do. The porch door was open with a fly screen door closed. There was a hallway running from the front of the house to the back. As we ran across the hallway, we both noticed something perking around the corner from the porch. It looked like a giant cockroach. It looked like a giant thing, a bug man, with massive black eyes just staring. It was nearly as tall as the doorway, so slightly hunched over. Both my brother and I saw it. Both my brother and I saw it and felt extremely terrified. Okay. It was as the doorway, nearly as tall as the doorway, slightly hunched over. Both my brother and I saw it and felt extremely terrified. We ran to the kitchen and tried to get Dad to have a look, but he just brushed it off, Peeking around the corner again, we saw it still standing there, still staring. Our dad finally agreed to look, but it had disappeared. I believe this is the only time we saw it. About 2 years ago, I brought it up with my brother, and he remembers it as well. Hard to put into words. It's a lot clearer in my mind. Name withheld. I saw a dog man while bigfooting in the woods of Beaver County, Pennsylvania. I was so confused that a Bigfoot had long ears on the side of the head. Then I realized it was a canine. I stopped my car to take a better look. Its eyes glowing white during the day. PM, hot sunny afternoon near Freedom on 8/20/19. I have read and heard on YouTube that they like to follow people home and look in the window. Thus, I brought thick Timothy Olson. Hello, Timothy. Guess what? I got your book. I haven't read it. Look yet, but I will. Yeah. Did you get anything good in the mail today? Yes, I did. As I said, I'm going to read it soon. I have read and heard on YouTube that they like to follow people, and look at people. Huh? This sounds very simple. This sounds like a good story as well. We had some fun tonight, haven't we, folks? And thank you for leaving some more. Thank you, folks, for coming here. We'll have some more fun tomorrow. Feel free to basically subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics They're Bad for You. Yeah, please go and subscribe to my channel, Read Comics They're Bad for You. Make sure that there is misspelled, so it's easier to find. Leave some comments down below because I love to hear from you guys. Make sure you're still subscribed. Anything else? Yeah. Hit that bell, folks, and hit the part of the bell that makes sure you get all future notifications for my videos. Hit that like button, and please go share this video on Twitter and Facebook. Also, folks, please go and subscribe to Stitch Together Picks. Stitch Together Picks is a YouTube channel hosted by a great host. You're going to love his reviews of movies. That's Stitch Together Picks. As well as please go and subscribe to Creepy Little Book. Creepy Little Book is like the Art Bell radio show. He talks about aliens and ghosts. Well, he also releases small videos talking about high strangeness. He also does live streams every night. He live streams on weekdays at 12:30 a.m. and on weekends at 10 o'clock p.m. and 3 o'clock a.m. He talks about aliens and ghosts. You learn so much. His live streams are great, and he just talks about so much, and it's very, very great to watch his live streams. All right. Anything else to say about that? Yeah. Remember, folks, I'll be back again tomorrow around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, or, well, maybe 8, 10, or 10 o'clock p.m. for another live stream. So be sure to come back again then. All right. We had one hell of a fun day tonight, huh, folks? We looked at a bunch of different cryptid stories and having some fun, having this cryptid corner and having a lot of fun. Whew. So it's all been pretty good. So we have a few minutes here. We can basically do something, talk about that. Anything else I can talk about? Yeah. Feel free to hit that like button, and please go share this video on social media. So there's that as well to talk about. That's fun stuff like that. Well, either way, folks, I'll be back again tomorrow, and maybe I'll have a few guests on, or maybe I'll do another live stream. Well, I'll definitely be having some more fun tomorrow, so definitely come back. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdogs Kennel. Thank you all for joining me.